A blocked number. The blood in my veins turns to ice, but I keep my hands gently anchored on her waist. She is so incredibly young, so breathtakingly naive to the wolves circling her inheritance. 20 years old, vibrant, stubborn, and completely unaware that the flash drive she threw in her Prada bag contains the very access codes that could get her killed. I look at her flushed face, the lingering tears on her eyelashes, the slight tremble of her bottom lip. My chest tightens with a protective rage so violent it scares me. I married her to secure a corporate merger to honor a deal with a dying man. But somewhere along the line, this infuriating, beautiful girl became my entire world. JK. What did the text say? I ask, keeping my voice deceptively. Calm. If I show her the panic gripping my chest, she'll close off. It said. YN hesitates, her eyes searching mine for any sign of the anger from 5 minutes ago. YN. It said that if I wanted to know the real reason my grandfather died, I needed to check the encrypted drive in your study. Silence hangs heavy in the cabin. The soft, rhythmic hum of the jet feels deafening. I pull her flush against my chest, burying my face in her neck, inhaling her sweet vanilla scent to ground myself. My mind races. Mingyu had swept the estate for bugs just last week. Taehyung and I had kept the drive's existence buried under 3. Layers of black book security. Someone on the inside is playing a dangerous game. Someone trying to use my wife as a pawn. JK, you do not answer unknown numbers. You do not leave Mingyu's sight, and you never, ever go behind my back again. Do you understand? N. Jungkook. She pulls back slightly, her brow furrowed. YN, what is on that drive? Did you have something to do with his death? The sheer vulnerability in her eyes twists, the knife in my gut. I brush a lock of hair behind her ear, my expression hardening into absolute resolve.
I didn't kill him, YN, I say quietly, but the people who did are waiting for us in Paris. And if they find out you touched that drive, your life is forfeit. Someone knocks sharply on the heavy oak door.
Jungkook. Taehyung's voice filters through, stripped of its usual, playful sarcasm. It's dead serious. Tae, you need to come out here. The pilot just got an override. Command from air traffic control. We're being forced to land. YNPOV. They say the loudest sound in the world is a gunshot, but right. Now it's the mechanical grind of landing gear deploying entirely, against our will. Jungkook's head snaps toward the bedroom door, his jaw clenching so hard a muscle ticks beneath his skin. The terrifyingly tender husband from 2 seconds ago vanishes. In his place is the ruthless billionaire who dictates terms to kings and criminals alike. He grabs my hand, pulling me off the bed with a firm but careful grip. Jake, stay behind me. He throws the heavy oak door open. The cabin has lost its relaxed, luxurious atmosphere. The warm lighting is gone, replaced by the stark, clinical glow of the emergency strips, running along the floorboards. Mingyu is already standing near the cockpit door, his massive dot frame blocking the aisle, one hand resting subtly inside his dot jacket. Taehyung is sitting on the edge of the cream leather sofa, rapidly typing on a heavily encrypted laptop. The playful glint in Taehyung's eyes is completely dead. Talk to me, Jungkook commands, his voice a low whip that cuts through the tension. Tae, ATC in Geneva is claiming we violated restricted airspace, but it's a bullshit front, Taehyung says rapidly, his fingers flying across the keys. Tae, someone overrode our navigation systems remotely. We aren't landing at the main airport, Jungkook. We're not being forced down onto an abandoned private airstrip near the border. YN, can the pilot override it? I ask, my voice trembling. Taehyung shoots me a grim look. Tae, no, sweetheart. We're locked out. We touch down in exactly 4 minutes. Jungkook curses under his breath. He turns to me, his hands gripping my shoulders. His touch is a brand, grounding me amidst the pure panic flooding my veins. His dark eyes scan my face, searching for, I don't even know what. Fear? Regret? Look at me, he orders softly, his thumb pressing into my collarbone, sending a desperate, wild heat straight to my core. Jake, do exactly as I say. When we land, you do not unbuckle your seatbelt until I tell you. You do not speak. You do not look at anyone but me. YN, I'm scared, I whisper, the truth slipping out before my pride can catch it. I know, he says, his gaze dropping to my lips for a split second before snapping back to my eyes. But you're mine, and nobody touches what belongs to me. Understood? I nod, swallowing the huge lump in my throat. He guides me to a seat near the back, buckling me in himself. His knuckles brush against my stomach, and even now, with our lives literally hurtling toward an unknown threat, my body reacts to him with an aching, pathetic need. Jungkook's POV, 4 minutes. I pull my suit jacket back on, checking the weight of the Glock 19 holstered at my ribs. I slide a spare magazine into my pocket. My blood is running cold, calculating every possible angle. Every possible threat waiting for us on that tarmac. I look at YN sitting in the back. Her hands are gripping the armrests, her knuckles white, her huge, terrified eyes, following my every move. It has barely been 48 hours since I put my ring on her finger. 2 days since a wedding that was supposed to be a simple, cold business transaction. A signature on a dotted line to protect her grandfather's legacy. I wasn't supposed to feel anything when she walked down the aisle in that white silk dress. I certainly wasn't supposed to feel this suffocating, violent obsession that makes me want to burn the world down just to keep her warm. JK. Mingyu, I say quietly, stepping closer to my head of security. JK, if things go sideways, you don't look at me, you don't look at Taehyung. You take YN out the rear emergency hatch and you get her into the tree line. You don't stop running. Mingyu nods once. Yes, sir. They're coming for the drive, Taehyung says, slamming his laptop shut and sliding his own weapon out from under the table. Tae. Whoever sent her that text knew exactly what they were doing. They used her to bypass your study security, and now they're trapping us to collect the prize. JK. Let them try, I say, my voice dropping to a lethal whisper. The jet lurches violently. YN lets out a short scream as the wheels hit the rough, unpaved tarmac. The thrust reversers scream, the entire cabin shaking as the pilot fights to bring the massive Gulf Stream to a halt on a runway clearly not built for it. I brace myself against the bulkhead, my eyes locked on YN, holding her gaze, silently demanding her to stay calm. With a final, violent jerk, the jet completely stops. The silence that follows is deafening. Outside the thick tinted windows of the cabin, the night is pitch black. Then the sudden, blinding glare of high-beam headlights floods the cabin. 3 unmarked, matte black SUVs form a barricade just. Outside the plane, motion sensors picking up at least 12 hostiles. Taehyung mutters, his back pressed against the wall near the main cabin door. Tae, heavily armed. I walk slowly down the aisle, stopping right beside YN. I reach out, my fingers threading through her soft hair, cupping the back of her neck. I press her forehead against my hip, feeling her erratic, panicked breathing against my side. Keep your head down, little wife, I murmur. A loud mechanical clank echoes through the quiet cabin, the external release. Latch on the main door is being forced open from the outside. I draw my weapon, the cold steel heavy and familiar in my grip. I step in front of YN, shielding her completely with my body and aim directly at the center of the door. The heavy door slowly winds open, letting in the freezing night air and the blinding white light. Of the SUVs, a tall silhouette steps onto the threshold of the jet, the barrel of an assault rifle resting casually over his shoulder. Unknown. Evening, Jungkook. A chillingly familiar voice echoes into the cabin. Unknown. It's a beautiful night for a honeymoon, don't you think? My finger tightens on the trigger. Audience questions for the comments. OMG, who do you think is standing at the door? Did Jungkook's own circle betray him, or is this someone from YN's past? What would you do if you were trapped on that jet with him? Let me know your craziest theories down below.